Partnered by Times Influence.
On behalf of Dun & Bradstreet India, this is Samriddhi Goyal welcoming you to the Dun & Bradstreet RBL Bank Limited SME Business Excellence Awards 2017. It is indeed a very special evening where we are going to acknowledge and honor the excellence and performance of the SMEs in India. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all put our hands together and welcome the Honorable Secretary, Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of India, Dr. K.P. Krishnan. As things progress in the Dun & Bradstreet Awards evenings, tradition demands that the tone and texture of the evening be defined by the Managing Director of Dun & Bradstreet India, Mr. Manish Sinha.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is my privilege to welcome you for the SME Business Excellence Awards for 2017. What exactly is MSME today? Let's look at the definition again. Within India, SMEs are defined on the basis of assets. So if you're a service company, it's on the basis of equipment. If you're a manufacturing company, it's on the basis of plant and machinery. Outside India, whether it is individual countries or multinational organizations, the definition is defined, is characterized on the basis of the number of employees and the revenue. So that's one thing that needs to be looked at again. Secondly, even if we want to look at the size of the investment, let's compare what India is with some other countries. So in India, whether it's SME or MSME, it's between 40,000 and 700,000 US dollars. That same number is 20 times higher in the IFC definition. It is about $15 million. If you look at the EU definition, it's 100 times higher. It's about $48 million. In the case of China, it is between $6 and $60 million. So at the upper end, it is more than 100 times larger. And then finally, we need to just take stock of why this is important. For obvious reasons, this sector is important because a strong sector can contribute to the economy. But a weak sector is actually something that puts several parts of the economy at risk. So if it is strong, the number of employees, that's about 117 million. It's only going to go up and at a much more faster rate. 30% of the GDP, there is no doubt in our minds that it's going to be a much bigger contributor. But actually, there's a bunch of softer benefits of having a strong SME sector. The agility of the industry, the entrepreneurship that it creates, the innovation that it can help with, and finally, just the ability to absorb the emerging workforce, particularly the workforce that comes into the cities and comes out of agriculture. So from Dun & Bradstreet, let me just end my opening address by saying thank you all, ladies and gentlemen, for being here today. Thank you to the dignitaries who I have the privilege of sharing the dais with for being here. My warm congratulations to all the award winners, and I hope you have a lovely evening today. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have the pleasure to invite on stage to speak Mr. Echaar Raina, the Independent Director with RBL Bank.
Firstly, I'd like to thank and congratulate all the award winners and Dun & Bradstreet for this important initiative, for which RBL Bank has been associated now for the second year, and hopefully we look forward to long and continuing partnership. The second reason, I think, is that for the banking industry as a whole, I mean, Manish outlined, one is it's 30% of the economy, and two is it provides employment. I'm not even talking about livelihood to 120 million people. And my suspicion is that the livelihood that it provides is substantially more. I think in India we're not sort of integrating livelihood with employment because we've got stuck in the old kind of formula of how many people does a sector employ, whereas what we need to be looking at is how many people does it provide a livelihood to. It is also a fast-growing segment, both for banking and for employment. And that's the third reason. I think it's extremely relevant for the country. I think it's very, very strategic that Dr. Krishnan has agreed to come, because I think that it is a sector that is extremely relevant for the skills that India is creating, for the livelihood, for the entrepreneurship, for the employment that it has the capability to generate from a substantially large base. I just want to say I'm delighted to be here. Thank you very much.
I'd like to now invite on stage Ms. Sujata Mohan, the Head Digital and New Initiatives with RBL Bank, who is here to introduce us to the latest product developed by RBL Bank, Merchant Pay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and honorable dignitaries. The Merchant Pay app that we are launching today is one of our early offerings for the SME segments. I'd like to give you a brief idea about what made us do this. In the last 1 year, there have been a plethora of payment products that have hit the Indian industry. On the one hand, we have a growing population of smartphone users. Aadhaar has become ubiquitous. We have huge issuance on the RuPay products and a huge number of payment products that have hit the industry. The tools for making digital payments is now available with the consumers. What is now required is to create a well-enhanced acceptance infrastructure where we are able to offer solutions for payment acceptance at low cost. In the corporate world, collections and receivables management is a problem that is still fully not solved. A corporate in today's world will have to integrate with multiple partners, multiple corporates, if they want to create a collection infrastructure, a receivable management system using all these payment products. Towards this, RBL Bank's Merchant Pay app addresses this specific gap that exists in the industry. We have developed an integrated app that accepts payments through 6 different modes: cards, SMS and WhatsApp-based links for payments, QR-based collections, UPI, and Aadhaar-based payments. I would now request our honorable dignitaries to unveil the product for us.
I'm going to now invite Dr. Krishnan to speak to all of us now. Can we all put our hands together and welcome him once again?
It's a privilege to be here. To begin with, the skills challenge is a challenge of numbers, it's a challenge of quality, and most importantly, it's a challenge of mindsets. The demand for skilled labor for a 10-year period has been projected 10 plus crores. So there is a huge demand for, or there should be a huge demand for skills and acquisition of skills. Now, as against this, the maximum that India can produce from the formal vocational education and training system is something like 1.6 million per annum. So there is a challenge of numbers, there is a huge challenge of quality in terms of what they are taught, what they learn, and in terms of their own employability, including soft skills and other skills required to be a good working person. And the third and the most important difficulty in this entire space is skills acquisition is not at all aspirational. And the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, set up by this government in the year 2014, launched the Skill India mission in 2015. And the objectives of the Skill India mission straight away come out of what I mentioned. The 3 purposes are increase scale, 2, enhance quality, and 3, do short, medium, and long-term steps for making acquisition of skills aspirational. This, in sum, is what we are attempting in the Skill India Challenge. Each of our conversations with the PM have typically ended with the PM expressing considerable dissatisfaction about not doing enough to recognize the enormous amount of skill that exists in a whole bunch of people who work for you, but who are not formally recognized, who are not formally certified, who need perhaps 20, 30 hours of upskilling and some soft skills and a certificate to make them mobile and make them employable. This is what we are attempting in the entrepreneurship side, and hopefully with cooperation of a large number of SMEs of the kind that are present here, we hope to take this forward. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm now going to invite Ms. Sumita Thakur on the dais. She's a Senior Associate Director at the Indian School of Business.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the third year I'm attending the SME Excellence Awards, almost the third year that we have partnered with Dun & Bradstreet for this event. And the reason is that we are passionate about growing the community of small and medium enterprises in India. We are a management institution. ISB is a business school. And what we do is impart business knowledge and do research, good quality, high quality research that's useful for the growth of the business community in India. I would like to appreciate all the participating small and medium enterprises in this award ceremony and in your passion and drive for excellence, and wish you the very best and continued success. Thank you.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite our next speaker for this evening, Mr. Sankar Chakraborty, who is the Chief Executive Officer at Smera Ratings Limited.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let me share with you, in my experience of last 22 years of working with SMEs, I have been lucky enough to see a large number of clusters across the country. And I can tell you that some very wonderful work happens in these clusters. And one of the things that underscores the ability of the SMEs is really the resilience with which these players address the concerns that they have and they have to face on a day-to-day basis. We really have seen this resilience has been instrumental in making sure that this industry survives. However, we have also noticed that this industry is suffering, amongst other things, is because of lack of availability of loan. There is no information. There are no databases in the country where you can go and search for an SME to whom you want to lend, and you get to see his loan requirements. Smera has decided to play a very, very significant role in this. We have launched a product called Banker's Terminal. An SME can come forward, and we have about 200 credit counselors who are present in these clusters. They will come forward, they will onboard these SMEs and onboard their loan requirements, publish it on our platform. A banker can access industry-wise, size-wise, the need of these customers. We have seen huge response, positive response from the bankers, and we are right now worrying how to scale up the platform so that it does not crash because of heavy usage from people. Thank you so much, and thanks once again, Dun & Bradstreet and the audience.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's get a preview of the 8th edition of the Leading SMEs of India 2017. Presenting to you of the Leading SMEs of India 2017. We'd like to thank our dignitaries here. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment that all of you have been waiting for, the awards ceremony is now going to begin. To physically hand out the awards, I'd like to call upon stage once again Mr. Prakash Chandra, Mr. Ishan Raina, and Mr. Manish Sinha to preside over the entire award ceremony. And without any further ado, we are now going to move for the first set of awards. The first award is being given in the category of chemicals and pharmaceuticals. In the SME segment, the award goes to Faith Industries Limited. Moving on to the second award, which is being given in the chemicals and pharmaceuticals category in the mid-corporate section. Ladies and gentlemen, the award goes to Echaar Chem India Limited. Moving on to the next award in the engineering and machinery, Ladies and gentlemen, the SME winner is Echaar Equipments Private Limited. When exploring excellence within the mid-corporate segment of engineering and machinery, the award goes to Precision Camshafts Limited. Please put your hands together, everybody. While commerce and industry may be in a state of flux as a rapidly changing world makes certain industries obsolete and brings into existence new ones, textiles and garments, however, will always retain their relevance, and which is why we honor them in tonight's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause for Advanced Syntex Limited. In the mid-corporate segment within textiles and garment, the winner, ladies and gentlemen, is Globe Courtyard Private Limited. Well, moving on to the food processing and agro products, it's the SME segment we are turning our attention to, and the award, ladies and gentlemen, in this segment goes to Maharaja Dehydration Private Limited. We are staying with the food processing and agro products, but shifting to the mid-corporate segment. The Arjuna Natural Extracts Limited get their name up in the lights now. Well, guess who switched on all the right circuits in the SME segment of electrical and electronic goods? Ladies and gentlemen, it was HDS India Limited. Let's all hear it for them. HDS India Limited. When electrical and electronic goods continue to dominate the radar, albeit narrowed down over the next few to the mid-corporate segment, and we have a winner in Kotmac Electronics Private Limited. And now we are going to be scrutinizing plastic and plastic products next in the SME segment. And here's the real deal. It was Calco Polytechnique Private Limited all the way. And the evening motor is on. Lots of categories and segments within them still up for the grabs. We aren't done yet with plastic and plastic products though. Narrowing it down to the mid-corporate segment, the winner, ladies and gentlemen, is Mold-Tek Packaging Limited. Next set of awards, I'm going to invite on stage Ms. Sumita Thakur, Senior Associate Director, Indian School of Business. Well, ladies and gentlemen, moving to the upcoming and most talked about sector, the renewable energy sector, the winner in this segment is Ankur Scientific Energy Technologies Private Limited. Narrowing it down in the same category, the winner in the mid-corporate segment is Fourth Partner Energy Private Limited. And we are going to move on to the next set of awards. IT and IT-enabled services are not entirely the prerogative of the big companies. Down at the grassroots, there's a lot of entrepreneurial buzz. Some of that definitely happened over at Intellect Bizware Services Private Limited, who take the SME honors within this category. As automation and digitization takes over our lives, IT and IT-enabled services remain the flavor of the moment as they continue to do that at this point in the felicitation ceremony. In the mid-corporate segment, ladies and gentlemen, the award goes to Nucleus Software Exports Limited. Well, it's all wheels next in a manner of speaking as transportation and logistics goes up on the mark. The SME award goes to Express Global Logistics Private Limited. Still transportation and logistics, albeit training the sites now on the mid-corporate segment. Deugro Projects India Private Limited finished ahead of the rest. I am now going to request Mr. Sankar Chakraborty, the Chief Executive Officer, Smera Ratings Limited, once again to please join us on the stage for the next set of awards. Well, ladies and gentlemen, exploring excellence within the professional and business services space next. In the SME segment, the award now goes to FTI Food Tech Private Limited. We're staying with professional and business services but tweaking the eligibility to mid-corporates. The winner, ladies and gentlemen, here is Rodic Consultants Private Limited. We thank you, Mr. Chakraborty, and you may please take a seat now. Ladies and gentlemen, we move on to the next set of awards. In the education and health services sector in the SME segment, Hosmac India Private Limited has won the honours. The mid-corporate winner in the same segment, ladies and gentlemen, is EduSpark International Private Limited. Well, we are going places next, or going by the profile of the winner. Maybe we are working up an appetite. In the mid-corporate segment, ECOSI Mobility and Hospitality Private Limited came up with the perfect recipe for success during the past fiscal. Well, moving on, ladies and gentlemen, the next segment with the Digital India, this one is the most talked about segment. The winner in the Digital and FinTech Solutions in the mid-corporate category is UFO Moviez India Limited. And I'm now going to request Mr. Vincent Valadares, the Head Commercial Banking RBL, to hand over the next set of awards. The Best Women Entrepreneur, ladies and gentlemen, is our next award, and this award goes to Miss Neha Kant of Purple Panda Fashions Private Limited. Well, the next category acknowledges that kind of work ethic, now interpreted under the official title of the most innovative company. And let's now show our appreciation to E-Zest Solutions Limited. Special theme award, ladies and gentlemen, which is titled the Best Global Business Award. And this award, ladies and gentlemen, goes to Echaar Chem India Limited. Well, every business has to start somewhere. Some just make it out of the blocks with far more determination and success than others. This next category acknowledges that kind of work ethic, now interpreted under the official title of Emerging SME. And ladies and gentlemen, Cygni Energy Private Limited are the winners of this segment. Ladies and gentlemen, with that we come to an end of the awards ceremony. Let us all congratulate all of our winners once again with a huge round of applause.
Partnered by Times Influence.